Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome in. We're going to be doing some more alerting today. It's couple upgrades I want to get around to adding in. I've been meaning to. Might do a little bit more customization. There's also a couple things I need to go through and kind of fix from the new changes that we've done. Like the chef is a little broken right now. I got to add in the chef cosmetics so that he can select that. That we need to fix the grabbing animation on the customers because it doesn't really work right now. Stuff like that. But yeah, that's what we're going to be up to. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's just focus on fixing the customer grabbed animation. Get that over with. I don't know what's going on with it, but it seems like... Let's load the game. For some reason, they don't enter the proper animation. You can see, like, they just keep in the whatever animation they were. It doesn't throw an error or anything, though. They say set animation, animation type grab. Oh, I just didn't put the code in here. So if it's typed grab, go ahead and set both to grabbed. We'll give that a try. There we go. So now the legs go back and forth. And then we'll make the arms freak out. And the hair offset's a little funny for some reason. Not sure what's going on there. So we'll figure that out. Alright, and then when we're in this animation, I just want to, I guess, an update frame. Okay, so let's go into the section where we generate all these. It's like generate. Build cosmetics animations right here. So grabbed. This is where we do it. Okay, so it looks like it's already doing it properly. So we should be good to go. I just have to make the arms wobble around. And the hair rises up another pixel for some reason. So let's fix that. Oh, maybe what I need to do is just change which frame gets set in here, because right now it's any of them. Well, it should be okay. Let's just fix the offset here. So it's whenever in character we say update frame. So if we're walking, if we're grabbed, we're going to set it to 1. Just so that the hair is at the proper position. There we go. And then let's make the arms flail. Alright, so character, frame changed, grabbed. I'm going to do that, and match shirt.frame. All the frames. And here we're going to say rmr.rotation is equal to whatever it is, 1. We'll figure out what it needs to be. We'll just alternate between 1 and 0. That's going to be like too much, but let's just see what it looks like. Yeah, so we're on the right track though, at least. So let's do it between 1 and 0.8 or something now. See what that looks like. That's like that. So I think we'll have the arms kind of wobble back and forth. So this one will say arm L. Then here arm L. And here arm L. Actually, I think there's only 2 frames for the grab, so we're just going to do 2 here. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so the L arm needs to be negative. Let's try that again. That's okay. It's not moving enough though. So I would say put this down to 0.6 and this up to like 1.2 or something. I think that would be like mostly fine. We add in the facial expression and everything. The thing is, what I have set up now is no longer do we do a separate animation for being grabbed, because it's just a lot of extra work, and I don't want to have to do that. This is what the original animation looked like. I guess really with this, it's like one arm almost goes down to normal. It's almost like they're doing like this. So I might kind of emulate that. So here, let's open up Krita so I can get a better view of this. Because I mean, I did like how it looked originally, but I like not having to draw animations even more. Okay, so in frame 1, we'll do so arm left. The left arm doesn't really move, or the right arm doesn't really rotate that much. It really swaps between like 0.5 and like 0.2 or something. Yeah, kind of like that. But it's really mainly the rotation on that one is in the lower segment. So we can say arm R lower. That rotation goes up there. So to 0.3. Then here it goes to 0.1. See what that looks like. It's not rotating enough. Let's go to 1 on that. See what that looks like. And that is going backwards, which is a little weird. We'll set that to negative. So that's almost sort of the vibe. Then we'll have the upper arm rotate more. So let's go up to 0.5 and lower this rotation. And we'll do a little more upper arm. Let's go up to 0.8. Try that. Seems mostly fine right there. And then the other arm kind of goes from like a bent to straight almost. So let's mess with that. Let's keep that one there and then say arm L lower. Our rotation is equal to, yeah, like lower right there, so only 0.1. But then on the other one, I want it to be much more bent, like 0.5. Sometimes it's hard to see what's happening here. It seems to be bending inwards. I think it's got to be a negative value. It's really hard to see because they keep changing directions. It needs to come down way more. Is that the right arm or the left arm? That's the left arm. So in this one, we'll bring this down to like almost nothing. It's looking okay. So let's do, yeah, almost nothing on that. But then I just changed the, okay, now we're good. And then on that one, I want this rotation to be a little higher. Might actually go like much higher with that one, I'm not sure. Kind of make it look like they're panicking a little more. Doesn't really work. I kind of want them to just go like this. I think. Okay. So we're going to try that. So first frame, arm's going to be rotated, let's say up to 1.2. Lower arm is 0. Next frame, that's really low. Or no, actually, we want this to set to like 0.5, and then both of these, it drops quite a bit. Let's just worry about the right arm. I want to figure out that animation. I see kind of what the problem is here, because the arm is rotated a different way. Like it's not rotated up or whatever. So I might actually flip the arm, the lower arm. And then rotate it the opposite way. So then I want to say arm R lower dot flip H is true. Just to kind of make the arm look like it's pointing up. Yeah, sort of like that. It's a little janky though. I think flipping the lower arm has made it different. It might be because the lower arm maybe is not an even width. Let's go take a look. Might have to modify the arms. Right arm lower. Yeah, it's because there's a bigger gap over here. How large is this? It is 8 by 8. Might have to go up to 10 by 10. Because the problem is when we flip this arm, you can see, boom. It's like it changes its position. So that's not really ideal. I might just crop this like this. I don't know why I have the extra stuff down at the bottom either. So now if I flip this arm, it kind of generally stays in the same position. Will require a lot of repositioning though, which is the only thing that's kind of sucks. I don't know yet. Trying to think the best way I want to go about this. See, the left arm is fine already because it's already pointing up. But the right arm is not. Because you can see if we do the same treatment to the left arm. So 0.2 over here minus 0.5. That's 0.1 and this becomes 0.5. Like the left one looks okay because it's already in that orientation. Yeah, it's just odd. We'll probably make some tweaks to these arms so that it's a little more stable. And like this animation doesn't matter that much. I'm not super worried about it being perfect. mean, you're just grabbing a guy and throwing him around, so. I mean, I think that motion on the other arm is mostly okay. I might lower it though, so when it drops down here, oh yeah, this is at point. This should be 0.1. That's why it wasn't working. Because this is kind of the vibe I want. I mean, you don't really notice the other arm too much. I could temporarily shift its horizontal position or whatever. Maybe. I don't know, we'll have to see. Ah, it's tricky. I really don't want to animate a whole set of grabbed animations for these guys, because it's just not worth the trouble. So. I mean, I can kind of try and copy this animation more, because this arm doesn't really go up. Maybe that's the play. Let me just fix the flipping really quick. Just make it so it doesn't bend backwards. So this will be negative. Like that. Oops. I guess that would be mostly fine. Maybe even almost do the opposite, where it's like, let's see. Here, I'm gonna mark these. R back, and this one is R forward. So I could set this to a much smaller value, so it kind of stays more forward. And I could even go like push it forward, kind of like that, and then set this to like 0.8 instead, so that the arm kind of stays forward a little bit more. Maybe that would be okay. I think the left arm goes maybe up just a little bit too much on this frame over here. I'm gonna drop that. And let's have this one go back again. I hear like a little beeping. Where's it coming from? Is that from my computer? Like a little, it sounds like my 3D printer, but it's not. I think there's a ghost. Yeah, this will be fine, I guess. And then we just need to change the face, probably. Might change the left arm just a little more, make it not go out as much. So here it'll go like 0.1, and this one goes like 0.8, but then have this one come out more. It almost seems like and this one needs to come out more. The left arm like pivots are a little odd, it seems like. The right arm seems okay, but it's almost like it's too long. I don't know. It's a little odd. It's like it needs to be pushed to the right more, or just shortened. Yeah, it's a little strange. Might just be that the bottom segment on that arm is too long. I do want to make some changes here. Just to kind of blend these arm segments better. close everything and open it again. I think what I want to do here. Okay. So I think the part that seems to overlap the most weird is like this one. And I might do like a half opacity pixel. I don't know what's going to happen with the color swap shader with that. It might break it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, let's go into the editor to apply the new sprite. Seems like it does not break it, so... Oh, no, it does. Okay. It's also weird how it, like... Maybe I want to put that arm on the layer below the upper arm or something. I mean, it's good to have the outline there, but maybe we do like this. That would kind of prevent it from looking weird. Maybe. No, it's tricky. That's what that looks like. That actually does look better. Like, it still keeps the outline there kind of connected. I might even possibly raise the outline another pixel. Gonna mess up everything though. But I might just do that. And then it's probably gonna make the offset on this arm weird. But now you can see as I rotate this arm, it's like a little more connected. Can cause a little bit of weirdness with the outline back there. But yeah, see, it made the arm longer by half a pixel. And that's because it was messed up before, actually. All right, let's go into the character scene and fix that offset. Yeah, so we grab lower arm right. Because now it's 10 pixels tall, so... I think I want to have it right there. 4.5. That seems about right. Because before we had it at, I don't remember, 5, I think. Could do 3.5, but that seems too short. Let's do it there. And the other arm seems to be okay, although I might actually do the same thing over there. I'll have to make these same changes, I suppose, also to the long sleeve shirt, which is a little annoying. So let's see, I think this one should get the same treatment like this. See what that looks like. And I need to fix it. Move it. See, I don't know if I should like keep it low like that. Theoretically, that makes more sense. Let's do the same offset, 4.5. And then this one is weird on the rotation. I think I need to change the position of the rotation offset, and that would probably help. So you can see where that offset is set, right? I think I'd rather have it rotate there. So then let's move. Here, I'm gonna just temporarily move this out. Might even lower it, so have it rotate around that pivot. And then now it's gonna be a little weird. Does this one have a pivot? This had that. I guess that'll be fine. No, but it causes all sorts of issues right there. I don't really want to set that with the pivot. I guess we just move it physically. Because then when I rotate... No, that's pretty problematic. What does this one look like when we rotate? This one has a pretty big offset. It's also a little broken, and it does a half pixel there. Yeah, it should be probably more like that. That, or we set it down one more to 3. Oh, that's position. I was trying to modify the rotation offset. There we go. Let's go 4 down, 5 down. What does it look like right there? So yeah, it's a little weird because of that. So if we set it to 4 position, I think that would be best. Because then we never get a break in the outline, which is actually kind of good. But the only thing is then, like, at that rotation, you see it sticking out. So yeah, I might keep it at 5. It's really hard to say. Okay, I might drop one of these outlines here. Get rid of that, just so it doesn't stick out so much. But then now that that's gone, I can put it back up to where it was. What does this sprite look like? So it's got one line there. And then the upper arm, I believe, has one also. Okay, that's the long sleeve. Let's close some of these. Let's lower sleeve. Yeah, let's get all these closed. Okay, let's see. Left arm. Let's not worry about that one right now. Yeah, so it has... Okay, it actually has 2 pixels there. I mean, what looks better position-wise? Do I want it up? In that position? It feels a little bit short. I wonder also if I did a positive offset here and moved it back by a pixel, if that would look better. Because then it would kind of rotate like this, but it would still have the proper length. I think that's probably better right there. Okay, then let's take a gander at this. I feel like this arm is too long. Like, is it longer? Yeah, it's a pixel too long. Which is weird. So let's do the same thing I did on that one, I think. I give that an offset. Set position back at 0, I guess. And now as I rotate this one. It's because the upper arm... Let me see why. Doesn't have that second green pixel. This is an offset weird. Okay, set that to 3. But now it's in the center. Hold on, let's look at how this arm is positioned. Because I like how this one is. You get a little overlap right there, but I think it's fine. I could even modify that now to do a half transparency pixel. Just get 50% opacity here. If I could do it right there. Save that. And I think I might also then modify this upper arm to be the same, like, even number. Because it's at 9 pixels right now. Causes a lot of weird half pixel rotation stuff. So let's set it to that. And now an offset, instead of 1.5, we'll set it to 3, I think, or 1. And now I believe that this is offset too high. Let's move this up to 4. Now that rotates where I want it. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have to reposition this arm. Okay, it stays at -4. But on this axis, it needs to go down, I think, to right there, just -16. Yeah, okay, so that seems totally normal. I'll have to fix the stuff inside of the player, because I'm sure the inverse kinematics now is going to be a little broken. We'll figure it out. And let's also fix the ratio of this one too, then. Set that to 10 tall. Just be easier that way. Okay. Now, why does it just look so much taller? Because it's got 2 that other one, so let's maybe do that. And then this one definitely needs to, first off, go up. Go up even 1 more, I think, like that. So now if we compare the height of these two, they're the same, which is good. And this is at like a weird offset. Yeah, set that to 1 on its offset. And that stuff should all be good. Okay, so now when this rotates, I'm actually going to lower this now. It's right there. Because then it'll be kind of like the other arm was. Let's fix this. 1 too many pixels tall here. Then I did a semi-transparent pixel right there. 50%. See what that looks like. Because it's never going to bend backwards like that. So I don't really ever have to worry about that rotation. I just want this one to look normal. And that seems like it's correct now. Okay, so I think we're all good. And then this one, I think, just rotates at a better pivot point now. So we're going to move this back into position. And I believe it was here before. See what that looks like. So the customer should look better now with their arm rotations. We'll still have to go through and fix the player because their inverse kinematics are probably going to be a little broken just because of the way of how that works. And I am seeing... Okay, so we have to fix the color swap shader. Doesn't work for semi-transparent stuff. We can fix that really quick. So I don't necessarily want to check the length of this. I think what I'm going to do is get the pixel RGB. So we're going to say .rgb. Vec3 pixel. And for source, I want to say RGB is equal to output RGB. So pixel's getting the original pixel there. I want to say, yeah, pixel RGB actually, so that it retains its alpha transparency. And I'm just comparing against the, yeah, that should Work. I think that's what I want to do. So hopefully that should now fix this. We go back into the game. It should retain the original alpha transparency, but still do the color swapping. Let's see what happens. There we go. So yeah, the rotations on those arms just look much better now, especially with that semi-transparent pixel. It just kind of fits in better. Yeah, it looks way better. All right. So that'll work there. And then the player, you can see, is completely screwed up. It's because of how this stuff was positioned before. It's really funny. Okay, let's go into the player and fix it all. Oh yeah, there is something whack here. I'm gonna reset all the offsets and everything on these. Reset. Okay. I don't know why this one is still so messed up. Oh, there we go. Position. Oh, I think the skeleton is on? No. Oh, it must be that these remote transforms are still, like, active. Okay, yeah. So we just need to set these to the same values. And then everything should be fine. So the upper arm on the base character is at -4, -16. I think I can copy this and then go back in here. Transform. -4, -16. Let's make sure these remote transforms don't actually have their own position. Okay. And then the lower arm is set to -1, 4. This one's at -1, 4. Okay, so that arm has been fixed. Hopefully. And then now the other one. 3 -17. -17. And this guy, let's go figure it out. Should be at 0, 4. Okay. So that should be fixed now, hopefully. I'm gonna hide those two. Probably. We'll see what happens. These don't have offsets or anything, so might be a little quirky. We will see. So thank you very much for the follow. Alcaz 4M or Alakazam. Oh yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. All right. Well, let's see what happens to the player now. Hopefully their kinematics will work normal. So the customers are good. And then now the player seems to be good. Not seeing any issues yet. And they should also look normal in here. Yes. I think that's normal. Do these guys also have that issue with the 1 pixel? They do. They might actually have to lower the pixel on the legs 1 more pixel. I think so. Because it's cutting into the arm. Let's go do that. We can close all of these now. That guy. Alright. Then we gotta lower all of the pants by 1 pixel. Actually, specifically, it's really only the the idle. I think. Oops. Oops. All right. Save those. And then once this is all fixed, we can move on to fun stuff. Shouldn't look like anything. Okay. And now if we go in here and watch, we can see the idle poses. Someone go idle, please. Oh, it didn't apply. Hold on. Come on, update. I had to restart the game. Oh, yeah, because it generates those sprites. So, yeah, I gotta restart. It's all good. And now, idling should be fine. Yeah, there we go. Much better. And the players should be all good because they use the exact same like system as the customers. So yeah, I think that fixes almost all of our problems. I don't know if I'm ever gonna convert the walking into like the way I do the arms. Maybe. Something I've been thinking about because it would make it easier. I wouldn't have to animate the legs, but I don't think it's too bad to do the legs. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't really get any more customization out of it, because the reason I separated the arms, well, first off, the player does their inverse kinematics, but we're never going to be doing inverse kinematics with legs, so that doesn't matter. And also, like, I don't think you would have a separate stuff on your legs versus your, like, pelvis or whatever. It just doesn't make any sense. So I think we're good. Oh, I do have to change the long sleeves now because they're all using like the old format. I'm just gonna like probably just delete them and just redraw them really quick. I think. But let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, they're all just solid. Okay, let's just get rid of them. And we'll just redo them. So this one, resave it, call it long sleeve, and this is right arm upper, the row. Get rid of that guy. Then we're gonna save this guy. And now we have to do a semi-transparent pixel there. A little annoying, but it's fine. And then I wanted to do a darker pixel here. Just right there. Oops. So this is a long sleeve right arm lower. Okay. Rid of that. This one is long sleeve left arm upper. Left arm upper, and then the final one right here, the left arm. So we want to do all that, and I think I'll make that dark now. Delete that. Oh, it's so annoying to set this. I'm just gonna type it. Can't tell if I'm erasing. Okay. Then now this is, oops, I forgot the last part though. I need this dark pixel like that. Okay. Long sleeve, left arm lower. Now all of those should be adjusted for the new format. Let's see what it looks like. Then the next thing I want to do is fix the chef because his outfit has been messed up. He doesn't wear a chef outfit anymore, so that's kind of a problem. So we're going to do that. Yes, that converts it into long sleeve now. Cool. Hey, Ramus, welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, I hope I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Just working on Blurred In today. The usual. I'm fixing a couple things with like the animations on the player and the customers. But we're going to move on to some more fun things. I want to work on some new upgrades today. Got a couple ideas. We'll probably be doing that. I just want to fix one little thing on these two lower long sleeve arms. I want to give this a shadow for that, and then also give this one. Okay. So those are good. Next thing that I want to do is re-add the chef shirt because it's gone right now. So these are all the animations. The idle, does it even change? Okay, it does, ever so slightly. And then let's go find the original chef outfit. Wherever it is. Here we go, chef idle. I just kind of need to look at the outfit to tell what I was doing. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. So we're gonna add it to these guys. So first off, there's no like open collar with a chef outfit, so get rid of those. This is the walking one. Let's go copy a darker pixel. It is pretty dark, so we'll do that one. And then for idle, it's just nothing. But for the walking, I might move that little center line. I do not, so it's pretty easy. I think I had this over all the way to the right. Yeah. All right, but then this will let the player wear chef outfit if they want. Give it some buttons, you know. Do that, just keep it consistent. So this is chef. I'll just call it shirt, chef, idle. No, this is walking. Shirt, chef, walk. And then the idle one. So let's fix the collars. Throw this in here. Boom. Boom. All right. And I do believe that is everything. We'll call this shirt, chef, idle. That's all it really takes to add in a new outfit. I might even separate the head from these body pieces too, just in case we do like a different head shape or something in the future. But we'll figure that out as we go. So now we're gonna go to our shirts table. Why is he green? It's because we do a color swap shader on him, so it's just like a temporary color. It doesn't actually, it's not actually real. So we can get rid of this grabbed entry here now. Idle, chef walk. Ooh, okay. Cool. Yeah, and I definitely am considering just doing a single image for the body, because we're not really doing any super crazy animations on these. I think it would be doable. Yeah, now we can select the chef outfit, set it to be white. There we go. So we can fix the chef now that walks in, because he's been broken for a little while. Mike Wazowski, yeah. Let's go to aquarium. I'm gonna reset this up. Boom. Okay. Now the chef should walk in. There he is. As we can see, he is not wearing the proper attire, so let's fix that. So we're gonna go into the chef and set a couple things on ready. So first off, we're gonna say sleeves ID is equal to li.sleeves.long. And then we want to say shirt type is equal to yeah. I think that's all I do for that. Let's see. Yeah. Let's try this out. Summon him. There he is. Restored to his former glory. And even better now because he's not wearing jeans. It was always a little weird before how he wore jeans. So, I think that's better. Cool. And he's wearing white shoes. I guess that's fine. I mean, chefs don't really wear white shoes. They wear black shoes. So I'm going to say shoe color is equal to... I need to like create a global table for all that and get rid of like this stuff in here. I don't want to just do black. I want to do like a specific tone. So if we go into the master character thing, it's not set in there. Where is that set? I guess it's inside of the customization menu. Yeah, we're gonna move these tables out. And shoe color is right here. Thank you so much for the bits, Bobby. I appreciate it. 5 bits. Let's go. Thank you very much. This is... oh, I added a comma. Okay, let's see what this looks like. And then we should be good. So the chef has been fixed. The player and customers are all working normal. Okay. Summon him. There he is. He's looking snazzy. Looks like a chef. I'll probably make his hat and mustache eventually something you can equip as the player also. So we'll probably do that. Yeah, we're on the right track. We'll definitely keep adding in more shirt types. I want to do one that's like maybe more patterned shirts instead of just a plain t-shirt. Like we could do like a button-up shirt, you know. The chef shirt's a little different. Like chef shirts are kind of like off to the side or whatever. If we look at a real image of a chef. Right, they have like, it's like these buttons are like, you like fold it over. But a regular button up is just straight down the middle. I might even just give him 2 sets of buttons. I don't know, but I can do whatever I want there. Because I could do like this. But I don't know if that would actually look that good. I think it's fine how it is. So then the next thing is, yeah, like a button-up shirt. So we'll move this like back to the center line. I guess is right here. And make the, you know, color not as extreme. And we will add buttons in there. But then one thing I want to do is give like this cosmetic like a collar. Right? Kind of like this, I think. It's a little tricky to do. And make it look normal. But yeah, something like that, I think. Move that over to the side. I think that looks okay. Yeah, that could work. I don't want to go too crazy with that. I like with that little pixel right there. Okay, so we're gonna do that. Might as well just add it really quick. Seems like a pretty standard like clothing type that would make sense to add. Now let's see, we do that one. And it might be a little weird though, because I think it's going to get covered up by the arm. So I might actually like do that. Just so it's visible. But we'll see what this looks like in game. When I just do that there. Yeah, no idea if this is going to look good or not. We'll see. So this is the idle frame. I do that there now. Sort of like that, I guess. No, let's figure it out. Let's just go ahead and put this in really quick. So shirt, button up, idle. And we'll do the same thing over on the walking one. Just get rid of all the weird stuff. Oh yeah, and this is like that. I'll have to look at some images for how other pixel art games have done, like, because we could do something like that, right? And that also sort of works instead of doing, but it does get a little messy, you know, noisy. I'm not sure yet. All right. Back over to here. Copy that. Boom, boom, boom. Would I do that one? All right. And this is shirt, button up, walk. Yeah, I definitely might just make this a single sprite so we don't have to animate the shirts. It's just a static image. And then when we generate the frames for it, we just kind of cut a line out the middle of it to shrink it. I think that would actually work really well, and it would make it creating these so much easier because it's just a single image. So I'll probably do that, but it's okay for now. And then we're just going to go into shirt types and add a new shirt type. And it's really easy to do this because it'll just immediately show up for the player. How do you like say a button-up shirt? They just call it button shirts. Button down. I'll just call it button underscore up. So shirt, button up idle, shirt, button up walk. There we go, new shirt type. Yeah, because then I don't even have to do the two different types, I just have one. And of course on the legs, we'll still need to animate those, but the shirts would get significantly easier. Okay, so now we can do button up shirt. Yeah, it's a little weird on that idle. I don't think the collar should like move that much. So let's go to the idle frame. And here, I think I want to keep our collar like up. Maybe even also right here. Now it kind of like make it look more like it's at the top, I think. I'll have to restart the game. Let's try this out. It's like a little better. I still don't like the vibe. I gotta figure out. I think it's because of this. Just being like straight up connected. I think I'll go with that instead. It just looks a little better. So do that there. Save that. Well, then in that case, I might go like that. But it does kind of just like merge in with everything, so it's hard to say. We'll try it out. Then we gotta fix it on all these. Let's go through and do it. Yeah, see, because it likes to merge with this. It's kind of annoying. Wish I could like fix that. Yeah, I could make that darker, but that doesn't seem like a good fix. Well, hopefully with the context of the idle pose, it'll kind of like be okay. Because you'll see the idle frame and be like, oh yeah, that's the collar. But we'll see. I guess it's fine. You can do a short sleeve one if you want. I think for the buttons, I'm going to change how those are animated. Because right now they go up like this. I think I'm just going to keep them in the same spot. Or maybe even do like some of them up. Nah. Okay, we'll save that. And since we did that, we'll also have to do that on the idle. Parts. Button up idle. Okay. Yeah, I just want to have a couple different types of this stuff. Just so that people have some cosmetics to chew on. We'll definitely be adding more in the future, but just so we have an initial kind of batch of them. Let's try it out. Might look a little weird, not sure. Nah, that looks pretty normal, I think. Yeah. All right. Cool. T-shirt, chef, button up. Look at all these shirts. And you can do whatever sleeve type you want, which is nice, I think. So you can do some pretty snazzy looking shirts and stuff. Right now we only have shorts and pants. I'll probably do another variation that's like skin tight pants, like yoga pants or something. Change my hairstyle. I do want to do more hairstyles also. Yeah, I'll look like a nice light gray in here. I'll probably add more shirt colors in here also. There's no light gray. All right. Yeah, I got a little shirt on. Pretty epic. Do you feel like the arms maybe in this are too high? It's hard to tell. So they go like flat with the body on the idle, and then when the head goes up. No, that's just how it is. Okay, it's fine. All right. So eventually, I'm not going to do it right now, but yeah, I'll probably change the head so that it's like a separate sprite detached from the body. And I'll probably make it so that the body is just a single sprite. And then also we can have different head types and faces and stuff, which would be cool. So we'll do all of that someday, not right now. And then what I'm going to do is make it so that customers can also wear those potential shirt types now. So let's just say static var shirt types. This is going to be chef. No, not chef. Button up. And then t-shirt or shirt 1 or whatever I call it. So now we can just randomly pick from one of those. I don't set shirt type anywhere. So we're going to say shirt type equal to shirt types. I'll pick random. And also sleeve, sleeves ID now is going to be equal to sleeve IDs, not pick random. So we can also randomize those, because why not? The sleeve IDs, and we're going to say li.sleeves short, li.sleeves long. Now they should be able to also have those in the pool. Let's see what that looks like. Nice. So now we got like a whole bunch of different kinds of shirts and outfits, because like some people are walking around the button up, some people have like a long sleeve. These two are wearing the same shirt. Yeah, that's nice. Just adds a little more variation. We'll keep doing more and more. I think it's coming along. Eventually, I'll probably start making the ones that customers choose like weighted, just so that we don't have like a bunch of people wearing button-up shirts, because it is a little weird. I mean, some people wear button-up shirts, but like, I might also start like stereotyping. I know that sounds evil, but it can be weird seeing like a person with a predominantly male haircut wear like a dress or something. So I think I'll kind of set it up so that if you choose a specific kind of cosmetic, it's very likely to choose another different one. Just so that people look more like what you would actually see in real life. Of course, for the player, there's no rules. Like, you can do whatever you want. But I think for customers, it should kind of generally approximate, like, you know, reality. So that's the thing I'll be doing for sure. But yeah. We'll definitely do more hair types. I want to add in some more varied hairstyles. So we had ads going on, my apologies. Hate these gosh darn ads. Overkin, welcome in. Sort of like a shop sim. It's like you can travel, collect fish, cast the rod, and then yeah, bring them back into your aquarium, and then you can make money off of customers that walk in. So it is essentially a shop. You're not like selling items. It's more of like think like admission fee and like Roller Coaster Tycoon, where people are like paying money to come inside, but there's not like anything that they're buying physically from you. More of a museum manager or whatever kind of thing. Aquarium museum, if that's a thing. Never heard it called that, but yeah. But anyways, it's coming along. I'm gonna fix this trash can. It's been annoying. Yeah, I'm just working on all the character customization stuff for both the customers and the player. It's the same system. I think it's coming along. You freak out when you grab them. I would like to, yeah, like change their face when they're being grabbed. And that's something that we can do when we separate the, whatchamacallit, the body from the head, because then I can swap out, like I can force different faces to be displayed. So I'll have to do that. But we'll get there. I think we're going to kind of pivot right now over to more upgrades and stuff. There's a couple that I've been wanting to do. One of them is making the tip jar an actual like upgrade. And I'll kind of explain exactly what the tip jar even does. But I think it'll really help with new player experience, because it'll help it kind of explain the whole mechanic of idle income. So I'll probably do that. Also, I feel like this needs like those there. I think we'll just do that. You can check other player shops. I don't have any systems like that yet because it would require me to do multiplayer and stuff like that, or some kind of like uploading tool. But yeah, you can customize the sort of appearance of your shop. I am planning on doing a big change to like the layout. But you can place down whatever decorations you want and different types of fish in your aquariums. You can decorate, and your tanks, and you can decorate those too. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of kind of personalization you can do with stuff for sure. And that'll continue to get even better with time. I want to add in like different kinds of wallpapers and floor types and stuff like that, just to make it even more interesting. We'll be diving in all of that. It is tricky because like I need to make sure I'm still moving gameplay stuff forward. So it's like those are things that will be expanded a lot more later on when I'm kind of more in the polishing phase of the game. But right now it's like I really want to get like, you know, all the fishing mechanics solid, the new player experience, and like upgrades and things that are more tangible. So what I want to draw right now is a little like table with a tip jar on it. And once we start working on the actual upgrade, I'll explain more what that's about. Let's go get a player for reference. Just for size scale. I don't use this sprite anymore, but still the same size. Now let's go open up a big image. And this will also kind of act as a sort of button that people can click on and view their offline status, or like how long they can go offline for and stuff like that. So let's do like, I want it to be big enough to where it's pretty obvious that it's like an object. So maybe 32 wide, 16 just for the table. Something kind of like that maybe. It doesn't have to be super tall. Might go thicker on the legs like that. Okay, and then we'll outline that at some point. I suck at drawing, guys. Oh my goodness. And this leg is set in the wrong position. Okay, so that's gonna be that. I'll worry about doing like some shading later. I might do like a little shine mark there or something. So then the actual tip jar itself, it's just gonna be a big cylinder. It is really hard to see that outline selection, but how long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the size of this circle? 14 by 11. I want to go a little bit larger than that, I think. Let's just kind of manually expand it. I think around like that probably be fine. And then let's make it a cylinder. And let's do another circle at the top, and this one's going to be smaller. Something like that. Because I'm going to have the jar kind of fall in at the top. Right, something like that or whatever. This might be too big. We'll see. Let's connect that there. But I want it to be big enough to where it's really obvious just for the player. I don't care so much about like proportion. So I think it'll probably be okay. To make animations in Godot? Yeah, usually for all the animations, I just draw like a sprite sheet. I don't like use keyframes and stuff. Some people do, and that's cool. Keyframes can be good for like really long, complicated animations, but most of the time I'm just not doing that. And it's usually just short stuff. Now I have to see if I can spell out like tips. Oh yeah, I can fit it in here just fine. I might get this way more centered then and make the text look better. Yeah. Something like that. I'll move this over to that side. Yeah. Okay. Then continuing on with our shading. All of this is going to be like that. It's going to be like a bright, shiny spot. Then I guess I'll make it look like there are tips in here. So we'll just add a blob of green money. Let's see. I'll try and render at least a couple of like actual dollars in here. I'll kind of like do this so it looks like there's like flat like dollar bills. And then just kind of darken it wherever it needs it. So like here it'd be like off to the side or whatever. Goes into the darkness right there. Could maybe work. Only thing is it does get a little bit tricky to read the text. So we'll have to figure out about that. Big tip jar, yeah. If I owned a building, I would probably make the tip jar big so that people notice it. But no, I mean, it's going to have a gameplay mechanic, you know, so like I'm making it a little bit cartoonishly sized just so that it's obvious to the player that it's like an interactable object. Oops. Okay, I think we're good there with the shadow. Yeah, I might just give this like another shine mark over here. Kind of make it look like glass. Okay. I might make this table a little bit rounded. Feels a little harsh for the art style. I might do some like shine marks here. Not sure yet. I'm gonna do like one here like that. I think it could be nice. And then I'll probably give it a shadow underneath. So let's set our opacity to, I think 35 is usually what I use. Then we'll just start filling all this in with a shadow. Oh. Okay, I see. Oops. Right about there, I think. And we're just gonna start filling it all in. There we go. Set this back to 100. And we'll need to do an icon for this also, which is going to be a little annoying, but it's fine. I think I'm actually going to increase the thickness of the rim of the jar just because it makes it feel more substantial. Not sure exactly like how I want to go about it. I think I'll do like that. I can anti-alias the edges, I mean, a little bit. I think that should mostly be fine. Maybe not make those bright. And I feel like this text is maybe a little too like long. I'm gonna shrink its height. Should be fine. This T I might bring over to the right. It's hard. I'm gonna make the text thicker like this. It's not like super readable what the text says, but it doesn't matter because the player will still know what's going on here. Oops. I love erasing everything back, so that's fun. It is fun how you can like use different colors for anti-aliasing. Because even though the text is black, I can use this like dark green in some spots. I think it looks okay. I think that's all we really need for this. It doesn't have to be super crazy. And then these outline colors here, we're going to modify. Do this there. And some of these spots I want to do, especially around the top, a little brighter. Those will stay dark. Might even do that on the legs here. Yeah. Okay, what's the height? 36 by 40. That'll do. All right, so this is the tip jar. That in the sprites. Then this will appear after you buy the upgrade for it. So that's the next thing we're going to do is the icon. So let's do a 32 by 32 icon. And we're just going to draw the tip jar itself. And this one we can be a little more quirky with it. So I think I want to see the top of the tip jar like open with like money pouring out of it. Like people have tipped a lot. It's probably not right at all, but it's fine. Round that side out. I'll do like that there. Keep this more centered. Now the angle on this is a little off, so we're gonna modify. Bring this down, and this one also comes down. We've also got to remember our perspective. Doesn't have to be perfect. I think sometimes with these icons, it's more fun if they're not perfect and they have a little bit of, not necessarily like jankiness, but sort of character. I don't really like how that looks. Let's do like this instead, I guess. Might do some anti-aliasing there. something like that. Then the lid, or the top, whatever. Let's do that. Okay. Let's do that as dark. Anti-alias a few things. That'll do. Then here it should kind of have like a very dark rim around the top. All right, now we're gonna make the whole bottle like green. Let's start filling out the edges with that. I might actually do like, not the full thing, kind of more like this. We'll see. This one's gonna be a little funny. There we go. This will kind of make it look like it's glass. Glass usually always has like a shiny outer highlight when there's stuff inside of it, so. Then that'll be all like dark, but we'll change it. We'll add some here. And then money spewing out the top. All right, we're gonna have a bunch of dollar bills. Some like hanging over the edge. Then I want a couple like flying out. Make it look like it's just absolutely overflowing with money. Okay. Now we're gonna go through and kind of anti-alias and do whatever. I need to make these have like little dollar icons on them or something. Just so they actually look like money. I don't know how we want to do that, but we'll start with that. And then this in here will be green, filled with more money. I think that'll be kind of okay there. And then we'll have a couple like, you know, implications of dollars being pushed up against the glass here. And I might also put like a couple coins in here and stuff. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if it would look right with coins, so I might leave those out. Okay. I think that'll look okay. And then we're gonna have some big shine marks. Bottle. Maybe like a big shine mark over here. I'm gonna anti-alias this out to the background color. A little too curved. This is like a straight bottle. Okay. And then on some of these edges, we will do little like white highlights. Probably also on the bottom. Like that. And then the text. So it'll be in the middle. That's our eye. Something like that. And this would actually be like, well, no, that the highlight would be behind the text. Now it is a little hard to read, so I might just make the text white. But I don't know if that actually makes it that much better. I'll get rid of this highlight over here now. Yeah, let's merge this down. Let's get rid of any money behind here and stuff. That makes it significantly easier to read. Do a bit of anti-aliasing. See, that T should kind of be rounded around the edge. I might just do... Let's keep getting rid of this stuff in the background because it's messy. And this one. Maybe now that I've cleaned it up, it would make more sense to do black. Let's see what that looks like. Not really the vibe. The other option is that we have like a band going around the jar just to make it readable. So we could just do like a bright green band and then make the text black. Probably be best. So let's work on that. And then around this, we will give it a band. And the perspective on this is a little weird. The text doesn't really follow the right perspective. So I'll have to figure it out. We'll try something like this. Yeah, so I gotta make this text fit the curvature. Maybe something like this. And then, let's see. Temporarily, I'm gonna get rid of all this other stuff. Better. It is hard to like write text at this resolution, and angle is always really tricky. But I think it looks okay. I mean, it's definitely not perfect. I might try and like make the P larger, kind of like that. It'll do. It's just a little icon, so whatever. Anyways, let's start filling in all the outlines. Oops. Okay. And I'm leaving a 1 pixel gap. Well, I messed up. I have to go fix that. Because these icons sometimes are outlined, so I can't have... I have to keep an alpha border around everything. So we'll just shift that one down. And then this dollar is going to be cut. That. And it's okay. It's not the best sprite I've ever done, but it's just a quick little tip jar. I think it'll be okay for now. The wonderful thing about game development is that I can just come back and do stuff to it later when I feel like it, or when I have a better idea. So that always makes things pretty easy. I might do this color here for the anti-aliasing. I think it's a little more readable that way. All right, let's save it as icon tip jar. PNG. Okay. Now we're going to add it into the game. So there's a couple things we want to do. First off, let's go into the aquarium. I need to make this customize menu invisible by default. Where is that? See if I can select it. Oh, it's in this customize node. So we're going to make that invisible. Excuse me. Excuse me twice. Then we're going to give this a static body. Sprite 2D. Load the... Thank you very much, Raymoves. The sprite onto here. Boom. And we'll just put it, like, in the corner, probably. Just kind of right there. Is this, like, a weird... Yeah, it's odd numbers. That's why it's, like, not positioning properly. Yeah, I thought I cropped it correctly. Oh, right. Krita is a little silly sometimes. So... It, like, doesn't copy your selection. It copies, like... It calculates its own boundaries of where the sprite begins and ends. Anyways, there we go. Okay. This a collision shape. What is going on here? Oh, I accidentally moved this in the wrong way. Set this all back to 0. The sprite should be offset up, so like -10, because everybody should be basically above it. Call this tip jar. Now move this whole block over to the corner. And I have to make it so that people do not navigate into this, because otherwise everything will break. So I'm gonna give this group navigation colliders. Do a rectangle shape. Give it some extents here. Like that. So that'll be a selectable object. We're gonna do layer 1 and 3, and then recalculate our navigation region so that we don't run into that. There we go. So this will have a bunch of code in here. We'll say, hey, welcome in, just guy. Oh yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, we're using Godot. I really enjoyed using Godot. It's a pretty nice engine. So we're gonna connect upgrade purchase to a signal or update. I think upgrade purchase has an ID in here. That's fine. And then we'll do function update. ID, and I'm just gonna not worry about that. Let's just say it's equal to null by default, so I can say update. And then this is just going to set the visibility, whether we say global.get upgrade level for upgrade tip jar is active or not. Any thoughts about making your own engine? I think there are some cases where it can be helpful, but most of the time I don't think it's really worth the trouble because it's hard to build an engine. There's a lot of things that go into it. So if you're making a very specific kind of game, like for example, let's say you're making an automation game, I think in that case, making an engine makes more sense because there's like a reason to. You can get some really good optimization that way. Yeah. But otherwise, if you're just making almost any other kind of game, I just don't think it really matters too much. Focusing on AAA games. I would say it's not really worth it for a AAA game because there's so many engines that specialize in that already. Like for example, Unreal. It's literally designed for that. So there's no reason to kind of reinvent the wheel, right? Because it's let's specify engine. But all of the tools and everything is configured for making AAA type visually games, right? So I just don't think there's any reason to do it. Unreal 5 is a headache, yeah. I mean, because here's the thing, if you're making your own engine, it's going to be really, really hard to compete with the visual fidelity of Unreal. You're just not going to be able to achieve that unless you've been doing like graphics programming for decades. And even then, you probably still won't be able to because Unreal has a team of graphic engineers working on features like ray tracing and all that stuff to make it look really good. So unless you can compete with that, I don't think it's a very feasible thing for normal people to make engines that can do what Unreal can do. If you're aiming for a more simplistic art style, then it's, I think, totally feasible to make your own engine and have it look good enough, but it's never going to look as good as Unreal, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options. Like, there's plenty of AAA games that use Unity. Even like a lot of the new Godot things can look really good. I wouldn't say Godot is the best engine for doing super high fidelity graphics, but it is capable. Like there's some games like Road to Vostok, which is that out now? I can't remember. I think it's coming out really soon. April 7th, yeah. But this game looks pretty good, and this is all in Godot. So like it's definitely capable of making decently looking graphics. Graphics mainly comes down to the textures and models and stuff you're using. So, but yeah, like you can make anything you want in any engine, and you can try making your own, but it is a lot of work. So I just don't know if I wouldn't like recommend anybody do it unless you have a very specific reason to do it, because it's hard. You've got to like implement all of the different pipelines for everything. You've got to get like graphics configured and running, and you have to interpret like models, and there's a lot of frameworks and APIs you can use and stuff which help. But then at the end of the day, I mean, what's the reason, I guess, if you're not making a specialized engine? Because you might as well have just used something else that somebody's already made for you. But yeah. Well, C++, you can do C++ in Godot actually. Through Godot C++ GD extension. It allows you to set up C++ bindings. So that's definitely a possibility. My version has no blueprints, yeah. Like the Unreal blueprint system or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if blueprinting is... You know how to program, I don't think blueprinting is... Oh, you have to hardcode C++ into the game? Yeah. That's probably better that way. Just because blueprinting is fine, I think, only for people that don't know how to program. Otherwise, I think just programming is probably better. But everybody has different opinions on that. All right, so now I'm gonna go back in here and we're gonna add a new upgrade in here. So I'm gonna put this right after, I guess, the research upgrade. And this is gonna be LI upgrade, tip jar, icon. I figured C++ because it's harder for hackers. I don't think it really matters that much. From what I've seen, like, hacking is not usually about code. It's more about like security exploits and stuff like that. If you're doing multiplayer, if you're doing single player, don't even bother. Who cares if people can decompile your game and stuff? That's actually a good thing if people decompile your game, because then they might make mods. But yeah, if you're doing multiplayer, the language you use really doesn't matter. Yeah, any competent reverse engineer can debug your code. Yeah, like, I mean, even if you encrypt it, there's even ways around that too. It's really not that hard because there's so many tools for it. So I don't think that's I personally wouldn't think that would matter. Language just doesn't really always equate to security, right? You made a private server from 12 Sky. What is 12 Sky? 12 Sky. Is this a game? This game? This is 12 Sky 2. Apparently it's not available in the Steam store now. So it's like a MMO. 12 Sky 1. Okay. But yeah, I wouldn't personally worry about the language. I think the only thing that matters in picking a language, literally the only thing I would say I would be looking for is just what do you enjoy interacting with the most and writing. I think that's the only thing. Because you can make super secure code with any language you want. Your binary is an assembly anyways, yeah. Yeah, if you really want to make your game secure, I think the better way to do that is by just testing and trying to find potential exploits instead of worrying about, like, because really you can exploit a game without needing to write any code. So yeah, 124 zones database. Yeah, it would be neat to figure out, like, I've never done any like MMO type multiplayer stuff like that, having like zones that can load and stuff. It'd be neat to explore that one day. I'll definitely never make a MMO, but let's see, what's the description for this? Generate offline income for 30 minutes. Okay, and then that can be upgraded through Ascension. Max level, so it'll cost 100. All right, so then as soon as we buy this upgrade, it should show it pop up. Let's see. So it should be invisible by default. Yeah, we can't see it over there. Then when we go to buy the upgrade, tip jar, boom. Now it appears in the corner. So I'm gonna make it so when you click on this tip jar, it like shows just a little menu of like what your current offline efficiency and stuff like that is at. You can upgrade those things through Ascension. You can get more time limit and stuff like this, and also efficiency. So the idea with the game is kind of like, at least the gameplay balancing is like, you want to play through Ascend, then you can start getting some offline upgrades, and then, you know, stop playing. That's cool. You can do with Godot. Godot? I can't talk today. Yeah, Godot is very flexible. I think it's always funny how people doubt Godot's abilities just because it's not Unreal or Unity, but it can really do anything those engines can do. It might not have some of the same features, like Unreal and Unity are big, rich companies, so they can afford to give people access to developer kits and export options by default. Like with Unity, you can export to like console just straight out. You can't do that with Godot, but there are ways to do it. You just have to get the proper stuff going. Download and tried it, but couldn't figure it out. Yeah. It's not too bad to get into. Godot has a very good documentation. So I would definitely recommend anybody starting out with Godot to read the documentation, because it's very good. They have basically a whole tutorial in the documentation based off of your like level of knowledge about programming and stuff like that. Yeah, very helpful. Like if you know how to make a game, want to use Godot, you can go here, and then it just gives you the overview of not necessarily programming as a whole, but just what is unique and special about Godot specifically. Like how do you create nodes and stuff like that. I wish I read through this when I first started learning Godot, but I just didn't know that this was in the documentation. So, but yeah, it seems like a really good resource to have. And it looks like this is actually just updated. It's using the new UI theme and stuff. That's pretty cool. Hey, Satellix, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. We're just talking about documentation. How's it going? What are we up to today on your stream? Let's see, just write a platform layer for console and use Vulkan API. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways you could do console stuff. There is one like service that really makes it easy. And we were talking about this a couple streams ago, but W4 Games, you can buy like the console export presets, and it makes it so much easier. So I think it's probably the play. So you went well. I've been sneaking away into a bit of bot dev flurry. Yeah. It's always good to take a little break every once in a while. That's honestly what Lured In is for me right now. I always call it my vacation game, because it kind of is. But yeah. That's cool stuff. Yeah, I need to work on my overlay more at some point. There are some like bugs that keep happening because I swapped from I was using Twitcher 1 and now I'm on Twitcher 2. But sometimes it just randomly disconnects from the Twitch API, and I think it's because it's not properly doing. There's like you have to send in a refresh token to Twitch. I'm sure you know because you've made your own overlay, but just for anyone else that doesn't know. But yeah, I think something's going wrong when it tries to send the refresh token, so I'm not sure like what's going on with that. So I'll have to figure it out. Also, apparently, I don't think it's been announcing the ads right here. Problems while sending a shout. Okay, that's a shout out. Did it properly shout you out when you rated in? No, it did not. Did it? Wait, I'm on the different menu here. I gotta go look at Twitch itself. I don't know if it did. Did not. That's annoying. So, yeah, it's been a little annoying swapping. I mean, Twitcher 2 does have a lot more features, but it also is very a little buggy. I've got to figure it all out. So I can't send a shout out because moderator manage shoutouts permission is not active. I don't know what that's all about. What is that? It's in like there's a menu to open up the panel. Editor docs. It's somewhere in here. I can't remember where it is. Oh, tools. And then, come on. Twitcher setup. I thought I had all of the scopes set. I set it to every scope. I did moderator, manage shoutouts. Yeah, it's really annoying. Well, I'm gonna have to look into that another time. But we've been working on an entirely new bot? Oh, that's crazy, yeah. Yo, what's up, Ace? Welcome in. How's it going? Saw that game that you sent. It looks pretty epic. The MMO idle game. Gotta grab that when it comes out. Let me look for a shout out wherever that's happening. Because I should be doing that right here. I say Twitch shout out, then user data. I might just be doing it wrong or something. Because let's see. So you get the person who's rated, which is what I'm doing there. And then you say Twitch shout out user data. So you pass in the user. Yeah, so this is a type of Twitch user. Moderator. So it's just not working. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, it's been really frustrating with Twitcher too. There's just so many weird little like problems. Yeah, like the overlay randomly crashing after a while. Apparently now the shoutouts don't work. And I've had a lot of issues with certain like reward redemptions and stuff have just been broken. I don't know what's going on. It's a little annoying sometimes. I've got to figure it all out. Yeah, a lot of times scopes are the primary reason for annoyance with event sub. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I set every scope, so I should be able to do anything, but apparently it doesn't work. I don't know why. Really annoying. But anyways, we've been working more on Lured in today. I've got the customization character stuff finally like 100% worked out. You can see we can customize to our heart's content and do whatever we want in here. We can change our pants to shorts, whatever colors we want. So that's going pretty well. And then also the customers are using the same system. So they've got random stuff going on too. But yeah, I really wanted the character, the player and customers to be a part of the same system, because then it means if I add in something for a customer, the player also gets to choose it. It comes pretty, yeah, it does look like him. Actually, he shaved his hair, so now he looks more like this. And it's kind of like a dirty blonde like that. And he always wears like weird, like pink. This is Gumbo Supreme. And he always wears shorts. There he is. But yeah. We're just adding in a tip jar over here. So essentially what that's going to kind of be is like an in into the offline income stuff. Right now, it does have like offline income is granted to the player from the very beginning. But I've noticed that like it's some people have just been like, oh, I didn't even realize there was passive offline income. And it's because I don't really explain the mechanic anywhere. So I think the way to do it is like just make it an upgrade that people can buy. And that way you'll instantly know like, oh, yes, this is a feature in the game because it's something that I can purchase. So it's a good way of like doing a quote unquote tutorial without having to actually force people to wait and listen to the game yap at them. So, because I don't have to explain what offline income is. Like everybody knows what that is. I just have to make sure that it's clear to people that it exists, and that's all I need to do. So it works pretty well, I think. And then also it gives us a way to kind of like, you can click on the tip jar and it'll show like a little menu of stuff too. So that's just another nice side effect. So we're going to implement that. But I think it'll work out. It'll just be kind of one of these like base upgrades like it is with the research and tanks and stuff that you only buy once. Because I want people to be able to buy this before they get research. So I might actually put this after the researcher upgrade like this. it doesn't cost very much money. It's only $100, so you can get it pretty early on. But yeah. Hey, Euler 10 Studio. I can't talk. I don't know. Welcome in. How's it going? We are currently working on Lured In today. I think I want to reword this because it sounds like you buy it and you only get 30 minutes. Like increases your offline earnings cap to 30 minutes. Makes more sense. No, it's all good. That's just how that word, it's a weird word. Like it looks like it's supposed to be pronounced like Eiler, but it's like Euler. It's a little weird, but it's okay. Okay. I should change that description. So yeah, it's just one of those little upgrades I want to add in. I want more upgrades like these that kind of expand the visuals of your shop as you unlock them. I did that with the merch rack over here. So when you buy your first batch of merchandise, it appears here, which is nice. Now we've got the tip jar. I just want more things to start appearing as you upgrade things. And even same with advertising, I might make it so the first advertising you buy places down like one of those little signs or like some kind of thing on the desk. I just want little objects to start building up in the shop. So I think it's cool. I think it's boring in games where you're buying hundreds of these upgrades and nothing actually visually changes. It's like, what are these things actually? They're not real. But I think this way it's fun. Say it as you want. It's all good. I want to say it how it's supposed to be said, so. So let's make it so we can click on the tip jar. It's not going to be any kind of crazy menu. It's just going to show a couple of little things in there. So I'm going to do exactly what I did for everything else. So like the customize object, I'm just going to copy that. Go back into aquarium. Paste that to the tip jar. And I'm going to save this tip jar as a scene because there's some logic for the menu that it depends upon. Here we go. So now we go in here and it's got this menu right here. So I don't want to use this menu though. I'm going to copy the customization menu. Duplicate it and call it the we'll just call it the tip jar menu. And now we can go put that in instead. Let's go grab a tip jar menu. Boom. And we're going to get rid of all the garbage in here. There's a lot. So let's select at the bottom and delete all of that. There we go. So this is just going to show offline income. And it's nothing crazy. We're going to increase the minimum width of this menu. 384. That's good. And it's just going to show some stats. Like that's literally all this is going to do. So it's just going to show like put a label down, maximum offline income. That's one thing. And it's just going to have a number there. So I might actually just change this to a rich text label and just display all this in a list. BB code, fit content, don't set scroll active, and make it expand horizontally. And we'll keep everything centered to the center. And then we'll say offline efficiency, offline income efficiency or whatever is like a percent value, kind of like that. So yeah, let's make this menu shorter. So set that to 0 like that. And I'll put a spacer at the bottom. This doesn't even need to be an NHBox label anymore. And I might give this a separator. Like this. Beneath here. Then give it a control node. It's got like my favorite song ever playing, guys. It's epic. Just a little spacer. It's a very small, simple menu. That's just to show this information somewhere, right? Let's rename this to tip jar menu. Oops. And then this camera anchor shouldn't be there. I think I'm gonna do this. I'll do fill and then shrink end. Now that's gonna be at the bottom of the UI there. It's a predominantly horizontal menu, so we're gonna put it above the tip jar. And then now all of this code should just go away. And now we're just kind of function changed. And this is where it'll do the stuff. So if status. So if we have become visible, then we're just going to settle the text on this label. That's literally it. Let's save our label as a type of rich text label. To that. I'm going to say label.text is equal to all the stuff. So we're going to say offline, whatever it is. Set this to on ready. Maximum offline time. And set that to 0. I'm also going to say label.text or .append text. Just put this in multiple lines so it's easier to see. And offline efficiency, it's going to be that. That's going to have a %. This is going to have an hour thing, so like 0.5 hours or whatever. And then we have to calculate what that is. I might have a get offline time limit right there. And this is going to return it in terms of minutes, I believe. And then I'm just going to say it's equal to that divided by 60. That should be everything we need there. I'm going to format both of these strings. That's going to have time. Format this guy. And on this one, or I want to set a new line on this one. And this is going to have the efficiency. The global.get offline efficiency. And that's going to return a value from 0 to 1, I believe. So I want to multiply this by 100 so that it formats correctly. And I'm also going to give these two things different colors just to make it more obvious that it's like a different thing. I think I'll do the bright green color. So we're just going to say color. Oops, like this. Color is equal to that. Color is equal to that. And the color. And end the color. Okay, that's done. And the next thing is inside of our aquarium. Let's do a couple things in here. We're going to call function rest. And all we're going to do in there is just say that menu.toggle on. Okay. Another thing that we need to do that we've done in all these other menus is I need to change the scale of the anchor node. So in process, we do that. Of delta. Okay, I think we're almost done here. Last thing now is inside of the aquarium cursor node. This is what handles all the logic for selecting things. So LF object is, we got an ad coming up. Let's just say tip jar, give it a class name. Save that. Back into here. If it's a tip jar, then we say object.pressed. And that's for the clicking. Then we do the same thing over here. LF body is tip jar. And we say new object is equal to body and call break. All right, let's check it out, guys. I should be able to click on this now, and then it'll open up the menu. I do need to set the camera lerp target when I open the menu. Oh, and this is called anchor, not control node. So I can click on it, and it opens that little menu. I need to set some unshaded materials there to fix that. Let's also change the position of where this menu is. So this whole menu, I'm going to say, is on center bottom. Oh, actually, that one doesn't matter, but I need to set the panel to center bottom, like that. Back in the tip jar. I don't know why this is, like, weird. What is going on there? Center bottom. I don't know why that... Oh, it was just... Okay, it's fine. What? Okay, position 0, it's offset over there. Which is... Oh, I don't get it. Does this have size? Oh, that's just offset to the right for some reason. Okay. A little wacky. And then we're just going to push this above the jar right there. I don't know why this has vertical height. A little weird. Okay, final thing inside of here. I want to say... this is on this menu. Yeah, so we're going to say camera lerp target equal to that one. And this one's equal to null. Okay, let's try this out. Also, hold on. Okay, so now we can open the menu like that, and it just shows that little pop-up. It's a little weird. It seems to be appending multiple texts, which I don't know why, because it should just set the text to that. So that's a little odd. Trying to figure out why it would do that. I don't know. Why would it do that? Oh well. I guess we're just gonna merge this into the same string. I hate to do it because it gets really long, but whatever. Let's try this again. It didn't even, the overlay, it seems like it didn't even send that little announcement in chat, did it? About saying that ads are beginning or whatever. What is going on with my overlay? So annoying. Announce. Send chat announcement. So that's what I need to use there. Yeah, I don't think announcement works anymore, does it? Should. It's a real function. What is going on, bruh? Starting now. Maybe start ad just doesn't get called. On event ad starting received. Ad starting. Channel ad break begin. Should be working. One of these I remember I had like a really annoying bug. Oh yeah, one of the like subscription ones doesn't work for some reason. It's really weird. Let's see, made a game on Scratch. We can check it out. Big Bites. It's a clicker game. Ooh, that is loud. I can't change the volume. Hold on, let me open it in a new tab so I can mute it. Yes, that's something I would do, is a volume slider, because if I can't lower the volume, I'm just gonna mute the tab. You can get points here. This gives 1 point a second. Pretty epic. Get a taco. That doesn't seem... Okay, no, there it is. It said it gave me 10 points a second, but it clearly only gave me 1 point a second. So that's pretty, that's like broken. You need to fix that. And this one is not... It's giving me points. This one's taking away points. And then Frank. I don't know what these things like mean. That's something I would say, like, what does shop mean? I don't know what shop means. And yeah, buying these guys, I'm just getting more money. Which is a little weird. But I think if you fixed all the bugs, it could be a lot more fun. No, don't apologize. I just want to give like real feedback, because that's the most helpful thing, I think. There's a little dot over here. So yeah, I think the biggest thing is just fix the bugs. Yeah. Because these aren't giving the points that it says that it's giving. So definitely need to fix that. And these ones give me money instead of taking away money, so that's kind of defeats the whole purpose. But yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Yeah, I don't know why announcement is not working. Shouldn't have swapped to the new Twitcher. Oh well. There we go. It shows our offline efficiency and our maximum offline time, which shows 30 hours. That's not correct. I guess offline time must be returning it in terms of seconds. I'm gonna specify here. Because what is it returning? Yeah, it's returning seconds. So we need to divide this by another 60. That should fix that. Also, a lot of these are being formatted a little funny. So I want to say round efficiency to the nearest integer. And then time should be snapped. Actually, what I'm going to do for this one is my function is global.snap to int. time. Because then if it's a fraction and we first start out, it'll show 0.5, but then after it becomes a whole number, it'll show just 1. It rounds it to an integer. There we go. Also, offline efficiency is not 0.5. I don't know what happened there. Thank you for the cheese time. So what's going on here? Calculated as base offline efficiency, which starts at 0.2. And then I'm adding all my things there. But then how is that a... Hold up. Turn off round eye. I don't know why that's showing point... Oh, I'm a fool. That's why. I wasn't displaying the correct number. I was showing the other one. There we go. So now it shows 20%. Pretty good. So it should just help a little bit. Now there's like a place where you can actually overview these numbers. So if we have some ascension points. If I unlock offline time limit and efficiency, we should now see those jump to those values. So now I have an hour and 40%. So yeah, that works pretty well. All right. I might increase the cost of efficiency specifically a lot more. I'm not sure yet. Because otherwise it makes online income a little weak. We'll see. But people could just leave the game open, so I think there's other ways to balance it. That's part of the reason I have like the tank grime accumulation and stuff. There's like being online and taking care of your tank should mean that you make more money. Also the same with the food. If you have that unlocked. Like it only lasts a couple minutes, so you have to kind of be here for that. But yeah, anyways. Okay, but I think this will work. It is a little weird how it seems like it's centered here. I don't know if that's actually where it is. It's definitely in the center. Let's look at that node. Right there. Is that in the center? I guess that is the center of the screen. It just doesn't feel like it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe because it's not aligned with those. But yeah, I guess the center is right here. It's fine. Let's make sure it works on controller really quick. Pretty sure it will. But oh, I actually was able to connect. I don't know why. Make sure I can still... Whoa! So that's something I keep noticing, is that occasionally I'm checking now for mouse movement to swap back to keyboard, but it can be a little sensitive sometimes. So I think I need to like only change that if it's over a certain movement threshold. So I'm probably gonna do that. But anyways, let's make sure this menu works. Yeah. So that works completely fine. It is weird how my cursor is above the menu. I guess this is a depth ordering thing. Fine for now, but yeah, it's something I want to change. Actually, it is weird that the cursor is even visible at all when I'm inside of a menu. I think I'm just gonna add in some code to make that go away when I'm in a menu. So if we go into the aquarium, I think it might actually be inside our child of the camera. No, it's a child of the cursor. So we have sprite 2D. It's icon. It's not the same thing. Controller cursor right there. So I want to set that to visible, but then also whenever our menu changes. I don't know if there's a variable for that or not. or a signal, you know. Let's go double check though inside of our UI manager. There might be menu opened. Yeah, there is. Okay. So I'm just gonna say global dot or UI manager dot menu opened dot connect update cursor. Dot menu open. And one thing I want to do with that, I don't know if I really use this anywhere. I use it in the camera for ending the dragging. Stop drag do. Dragging false and sets it back to an arrow. Okay. So I think I'm also gonna do that for whenever. Okay, yeah, it does say it's menu opened. I'm gonna change it to menu changed. Just so it's a little more clear what that signal actually means, because opening is different from closing. Just make sure I don't. Oh, I do one more place here. And why is that? Should just happen up there whenever I set active menu. Oh, because that's if I do specifically the escape menu. Okay, let's see what happens here now. I'm gonna have to restart the game. Let's do that. So if I open a menu now, it should make the cursor go invisible. Hopefully. And the cursor is just invisible by default. I have it inverse, apparently. So visible is that, and menu is not open. Should be okay. Menu open is true. Is it because it's not happening when menu is open here? Where do I even do menu open? Oh, I don't even have... Do I reference menu open anywhere? I do, so I'm not even setting it. Oh, don't I do that inside of the menu code? I say, yeah, menu open true or false. Honestly, it seems a little weird to do it this way. So what I'm gonna do is say if value or let's do this before I emit the signal. Is equal to is instance valid value, right? So if it's null, it should be nothing. This might actually crash my game. No, it's fine. So now in controller, that should have worked itself out. Yeah. So I don't need to set menu open anywhere else manually now. Because now I'm choosing where that happens. So right here, when I open, I don't need to say menu open true. Neither do I need to do that there. It'll just happen whenever I set active menu. And here, instead of just saying menu open, change region. This is if I'm not quitting. I say change scene. Let's just say active menu is equal to null. Okay, let's check again. All right, we should be good now. Let's try all this out and make sure everything works since I changed some things. I think it should be okay though. Yeah, so now it just hides my little cursor, which just feels better. I don't really want my cursor visible if I'm not using it. Okay. Cool. Okay. I think we're good there. Simplifies the code a little bit. Look at that beautiful tank. Okay, let's write down all the things in our changelog. So something we did. Oops. So the controller cursor is hidden. Menu is opened. Just open. What else have we done specifically today? We're working on the character customization stuff. We did. I don't know why I'm like blanking. Alright, let's look at GitHub. I did something. Oh yeah, the tip jar and stuff. So we added the tip jar. I think that's like the main other thing we did. Yeah. Let's go write that down. Jar. Initial offline income now requires this. So what I'm going to do to make all this work is inside of our offline notice that appears, this is the script that calculates all of our stuff in here. So I'm just going to check if we actually have the upgrade active, and if not, then we just reset it. So if global.get upgrade level li.upgrade.tipjar. I'm just gonna say if we don't have it. So if it's less than or equal to 0, then return. Let's see, I'm trying to beat Starground knowing there is no way to beat Starground. Yeah. Say am like you're doing it right now. Yeah. Yeah, there's no real ending to the game. Maybe someday I'd like to add in an ending to Starground, but I have to go about it the right way. I'm sure we'll do like a final boss. And I think there's going to be sort of a final thing that you build toward with automation. Maybe like some way to escape the solar system. I want to have like 2 optional endings, right? One through dungeoning and one through automation. So eventually. So what I'm going to do here is clear offline info and then just say return if we don't have the tip jar active. So let's test this out now. I have to reset my upgrades or whatever. Well, it should work. Let's try it out. Let's go into the code and get rid of it. I should make the player build a ship out of conveyor belts and furnaces. I don't know exactly how that would work. Maybe. So upgrade levels at index. Upgrade is equal to 0. Let's try that. So now we technically don't have the tip jar. If we exit out of the game and load back in, we should not see the offline income pop up. Yep. I mean, everybody's going to see this tip jar upgrade instantly. Like you're probably not going to quit out of the game before you unlock that, because you have to place your fish somewhere, like buy a tank. So seems like it should be pretty obvious. I might though potentially just make that menu that appears just like it still will appear, but just make it so it appears and just says, hey, buy the research if you want money, and then it closes. So 98% chance it blows up and you get the bad ending. That's pretty high chance. I don't know about that. So I'm just gonna say this in here. We're gonna say label.text is equal to no offline income was generated. And then buy the tip jar shop. I'm just gonna say that. Okay. And I'm probably gonna give this colors here. I don't know what color that is, but we'll see. And then for shop, I want to do kind of what I did with the travel thing or the tutorial where I put the icon of the thing I'm referencing there. Oh, is that just straight up in the tutorial? Let's go look at that. It's inside of here. It's the tutorial container. Rich text label right here. So I did travel with the icon. So travel icon. So that's what I'll do with the shop. And I'll do this for the color. And then this for the image here. Shop, and then this is going to be icon shop, I believe. Okay, so we're still going to say toggle on. And we'll do that. And then I want to change the button text to say something different. Oh, whoops, wrong. Hold on. Going to the offline notice. Exit button. What is this? Not an animated button? No, it is. What? Why do I have all this other code, this extra code in here? So it is just an exit button. Okay, let's put this in here. Let's go copy this from a scene. You know what? I better give this a class. Like that. So I don't have to manually define these scripts everywhere. And then in this, I can just change it to a type of exit button, and I don't have to bother having a separate script. So exit button will be equal to that, and it's a type of exit button. Okay. And then if we don't have the thing, I'm going to set the text of that to just okay. Otherwise, we'll set it down here to nice. Like that. All right, let's try this out. I still didn't buy the tip jar, so it should show the no income one. Oh, that's a different icon. And I want to change the color of that back into the aquarium. Right here. when I say to pond, that's the color I want right here. Back to the offline notice. I'm replacing it with that one. And then what does this do? An initial and must. Yeah, welcome back. So I'm also gonna add that here. Okay. Yeah, see, I set the text and then I append it. It should be okay. So I'm gonna do this. It might not work. Let's try that out. Toggle on, return. Let's try it again. What's the icon I use for that? It must be a different one. Icon money. Yeah, this is what it shows now. No offline income is generated by the tip jar in the shop. Okay. It's a very minor thing, but I think it's just going to be a good idea. Because if somebody exits out of the game, I don't want them to be confused why they didn't make any money. All right. Okay, so that works. Shows our little menu here. Offline income. Efficiency in the hours. And then just to make sure, if now that I've bought the tip jar, if I exit out of the game and go back in, it should show that I've generated offline income now. Yeah, you were offline for 0 minutes at 40% efficiency. Okay. Nice. Alrighty. It's coming along. Let's do another reset. I just want to see, make sure it's all good. So let's go mark this down. Well, I didn't really like technically change. I'll do it anyways. Okay, so the tip jar now shows if you have gone, or not the tip jar. Notice now explains the need for a tip jar to generate offline income. Okay. All right, I think that's like, we've gotten through almost everything I want to do. There's one thing that I need to fix really quick though, and it's a super minor thing, is when you're picking up a decoration, it still shows choose tank up there. So I just want to change that really quick. Ultra easy. It's just inside of the add to tank code. So literally, I'm just going to do it in here, right? If status. Oh, so I'm just going to choose what that text is right there. So label.text equal to choose tank, or it's equal to choose decoration spot or something. And we have to figure out which one is held. And I think we can do that if we say global.aquarium.held type is equal to held types dot fish. So if it's fish, it'll say choose tank. Otherwise, it'll say choose decoration spot. And that's literally all we need to do there. So now when we go to place down a decoration, it shows choose decoration spot instead. So pretty good right there. And then same with the fish. Oh, it does not seem to do it right. That's a little weird. Held type is that? So it should say choose tank. I'm going to print out what the type is. It's a little weird. So it shows 0. Which is none. I think I know what's going on here. When I initially set the hold, see, I'm setting toggle on first. I'm gonna do this now. Let's try that. Boom. So now choose. Still shows choose decoration spot. For some reason, the icon now is invisible. Hold up. Something's a little weird here. Okay, if I choose a decoration. And it resets my icon, which is really weird. I'm just gonna omit on held change to update it. Probably be easier that way. I think it's because it says if not status here, so it calls reset. It does reset held. So I'm just gonna say global.aquarium.held change.connect update text. And we'll do that instead. Give that a try. I have to restart the game. Okay. So now if we go to place it down, choose decoration spot, and then if we go grab a fish, choose tank. Cool. So it's not necessarily even a bug fix because the bug hasn't existed yet in the main branch, so I'm not going to mark it down as a change. But yeah. I might also make a change here. I want to show whenever you're placing down a fish, the weight of the fish. I think that would be a good thing. So I'll probably do that. It's really easy to do. I just, let's see, wherever I set that code, cursor.icon.texture. But I want to do that to, see, I might set it to like the global mouse cursor instead. Right? Kind of want to see what that would look like. So I want to say global dot set cursor image now to data.sprite. And that might be better. It's hard to say. I don't know. It'll definitely make the fish larger. So I might have to scale the size of the fish. We will see. But now when I do this, the fish is like attached to my cursor instead. which I mean, I think is better. I'm going to set the scale on these to vector 2 to 1 times like 4 or something, just so it's easier to see. So now it's like that, and it's like the fish is like a separate entity. It used to be like in game or whatever, but I always felt like it was a little weird because it would be really hard to see it. Honestly, that's the reason. I think it might be better this way. I do have to adjust the scale because sometimes they get really big. I think we'll do like 3 times instead of 4 or something. Maybe. And then now in here, oops, in aquarium, when I say reset held item, I want to say let's set cursor image to null. So ignore that guy. So now when I select this, boom, there we go. And if I like select this guy, so it'll stay consistent regardless of my current zoom level, which I think is better. Because if I'm gonna have text that gets displayed on this, it's gonna be really hard to read if it's like not scaling with my zoom level, probably. I might even do the same thing to the text above the aquariums, like make that scale to the zoom level. Because right now it's like either too big or too small. So I'd keep it like consistently at like this level. And I've done that with a couple other things, like the menus and stuff in here. These all scale, so if I'm zoomed in, it's at the same scale. So we'll probably do that there. I think all those are set to unshaded. Yeah, I mean, this size of fish, it looks huge, but relative to the screen size, it's correct. And I'll have to scale it like for really big fish, because obviously if we like place down a whale, I don't want it to take up the entire screen. So we'll figure that out. Yeah, I think it's better. Sometimes it's always hard to tell, like, is a change that I'm making, is it actually good? You know? Or am I just making a grave error? But I think it is. Computer's lagging. But now it's hard to say what makes sense for the decoration, though. I don't know. I think I might backtrack. It does feel a little odd sometimes. I don't think it's the game. I think it's my computer. The game is extremely optimized. It runs at like a lot of FPS. Right now, while streaming and like having a bunch of decorations and customers walking around, we're getting like a pretty decent, like almost 200 FPS. Sometimes it even spikes. It's just spiked up a bunch apparently. So that's like completely fine. Yeah, I think in this case it is better to have this like real scale. I will though make it so it stays unshaded. That way it doesn't like become impossible to see when you're in the dark area. So that is probably a good idea. So let's go to that. Search for the cursor node right there. And then on Sprite 2D, I'm going to get the unshaded. Pop it in the material. Okay. Should be good to go. Yeah, this is a little easier to see it now, for sure. That's better. And I think it is good that it stays in proportion to everything, because it's the same system for when we're placing decorations. So it's just nice to see, like, what does it actually look like scale-wise compared to everything in here. Okay, so that's been done. Let's go mark it down. Well, now I'll be unshaded. You fix the text. You want to add that little label, so let's do that. And I might remind people of how much a decoration costs as you're placing it down, because sometimes it's easy to forget. So okay, so let's do, I'm gonna add that to the cursor, because I don't, for text, that's not something that should change in scale, because it would be really annoying. So cursor. You know what? I kind of already have a system like that. I have the mouse tooltip node. But the thing is that this only moves toward where I should change this so it's just a child of the cursor node. I might actually do this. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to have to set the global position, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, screw it. So mouse tooltip, we're going to make a child of the cursor node, and then we're going to set it to transform position plus 10 pixels. So it'll stay like that. And now in here where I grab the mouse tooltip and stuff, I may have to, actually I think it'll be okay. And then I want to have a mode in here for whenever I set the tooltip. So I set text in here. I'm gonna have another Boolean variable. And I don't know if there's a way I could do a self-modulate on this. And that'll work. Equals true. And I'll set that back to true every time. I'll set it at the end. And then I'll just say if background visible, I'll say modulate, self-modulate. So it'll be equal to 1. So that should let me put text here without having the panel there. And I think that'll work pretty well. So let's try it out, shall we? Just want to make sure it works. Let's like go into the shop. Yeah, so now it just stays there to the right of the mouse. Works pretty well, actually. So yeah, when you're like buying stuff here, I want to show the cost constantly. Just because you might accidentally start spending a lot more money than you realize. It's good to just have a little reminder to the player constantly, like, hey, you're spending this much money. But now in process, I'm going to say if, what is it, held ID. And then I'm going to check held type is equal to typeset decoration. Then I'm going to get the weight. I'm going to say global dot mouse tooltip is equal to format 0. I'm going to put in an image here. I don't know how big the font size is, we'll figure it out. And then let's go get the weight icon. Going to copy path. Boom. Now format. Set that to... I'm going to do this. Oh, no, I can't do that. That's fine. I'll do this. Then similar thing up here. Already decorations. Here I want to say data.weight. And that should always be an integer. I don't know why. Oh, that text. Then the same thing over here. But this is not going to be weight. I want this to be cost, and it's just going to be the cost. And I'm going to put a minus, and I want it to be red. Requires upgrade. I've done this before. Oh yeah, like where I say fish are hungry. And this is the color I use. Ugh, where'd it go? Aquarium. Boom. Say color is equal to that. All right, let's see what happens. So should show for placing the decoration, the cost of the decoration, and then for placing a fish, the weight of the fish. So let's see. So let's go place a decoration. Also, we need to set that panel to be invisible. Something I just forgot to do. So we're going to say global.mouse tooltip dot whatever it is, background visible, I think. I'm also going to type this now. Background visible is false. And same here. Let's try it out. Okay, decorations, boom. So now it shows the little cost label there. So if I'm like placing a starfish home, it'll show minus $1,000 every time I buy it. So I think that's a good thing just to have that there. Also, I need to format it now since it is like a cost. Instead of saying round I want to say global dot format number commas. Like so. So now it'll show the proper, minus 1,000 with the comma. And then if I am moving a fish, you can see it has a weight of 1. So that works pretty well. Then for larger fish, it's like different. Shows the weight as 3. It looks like the weight icons are moving away from my mouse cursor, but it's not, Yeah, I think it should work. Okay. And I'm gonna put a gap there. Look at that. So now you know how heavy the fish is that you're placing, and you also know how much a decoration costs as you're placing it. I think it's fine to have that off to the right. I might also do a variation where I keep the text, or I have an option to center the text beneath the cursor instead of off to the right. That might also be a valid option. It would kind of make sense for like that money one, and then also for placing down a fish, it would be a little more logical. Now, does it work on controller? That's the question. I think it will. We're about to find out. Yep, because it changes the position of the tooltip or that cursor node when we're on controller, so it works flawlessly. You can actually see a little delay, which is funny. Like if I'm moving really fast, you can see it lagging behind just ever so slightly. I mean, I don't think it's enough for really anybody to ever notice, so I'm not worried about it. Well, so I think that space is actually too big. So. Okay. I think we're good. Let's go write those two things down. I'll see what people think about it before I change the format of it, but yeah. Added text. Oh, well, that didn't exist prior decoration, so I gotta get this new update out. Okay, so continuing down on my list of things I want to do, we're definitely getting there. I see idle mode in here. Thought I saw idle mode somewhere. I was like, oh. Okay. So I want to make it so the aquarium starts off with garbage and stuff around. So it's kind of like you have to clean up. It doesn't just start completely empty. So I think I will add that. And we can do that pretty easily because we've got aquarium decorations. So I'm just going to go to ready. And I want to see if we have played the game before or not. So, how do I check if the game has been opened before? I might just have to do save game data and have another variable in here that's like opened. But I also want to reset it when I send. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is whenever the list of decorations is empty, that's when I fill it. So we're actually going to go to ready of the aquarium, or actually enter tree. I'm going to say if global dot aquarium decorations. Now, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this starts off empty. And then down here, I think when I ascend, yeah, you can see I reset it to just an empty dictionary. So this is a pretty easy way to do it. So I'm just going to check if it's empty. We're going to add a random amount of garbage. So for I and range, let's say from anywhere from 4 to 6 garbage. Or we don't even need it to be a range. Let's just say there's always 8 pieces of garbage. And then we can get like the number of global decoration spots, I think. Actually, yeah, we don't have a variable for that number. Oh, but I think what I can do is, I believe that they're all inside of a group called decoration spots. Do I do that in ready? Aquarium decorations, okay. So I'm gonna just copy that group, and instead of setting it on ready, I'm just gonna add it in here. What is this? Oh, right, I messed it up. Boom. So they're all by default gonna be in aquarium decorations. It's not back in here. I'm gonna say var decoration count is get tree dot get nodes in group aquarium decorations. So we know how many decorations there are. Here's the add. Now what I'm gonna say is for iron range 8. Global.aquarium decorations at a specific index. So we'll say anywhere from randi range from 0 to decoration count -1 is going to be equal now to an entry right here. We have to see where I set that. I think I have a function called add decorate or set decoration or something. I guess I say it here. Spot index and then entry. Okay. So I'm just gonna set a set decoration. No, that's in there. Okay, I'm just gonna set it with an ID. And that's literally all we're gonna do. So that spot is gonna be equal to ID. Oops. Trash.pick random. And then we're just gonna have an array called trash, right? And it's gonna have some IDs. So li.decoration. I think I called it trash. Go look. We're gonna do crate, trash bags, and cobweb. And crate. So we'll pick a random ID. I'll also set whether it's flipped. Is convert a bool randi range 0 to 1. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see what happens here. I don't know what will happen. So if I go ahead and ascend, let's do that here really quick. I gotta build up my money. Hold on, let's go into the aquarium code. Add another 0. And ascend. The shop should be filled with garbage. Okay, I got filled with 1 crate. That seems wrong. What did it say is the decoration count? Let's print that out. Also, I gotta make sure if I delete this and I leave and go back in, is it gonna regenerate? No. Okay. Something I'm gonna do just so we can test this. Let's go back into process and set global.decorations or aquarium decorations to an empty dictionary. So that should technically reset it. Yeah, it seems like it's only ever... Okay, it says that there's 0 items in that group, which is weird. So I guess the way it works is that the items... These only get technically added to the group, I think, on ready. So it's not going to work for us to say... in enter tree. But I think I have another idea, maybe. So, go down, welcome in, how's it going? I'm gonna say var spawn garbage. Equal to false. And I'll say, if it's empty, spawn garbage is true. Now I'm gonna copy all these things. And then here's what we're gonna do. Go in a decoration spot and then on a ready. And actually before all that stuff happens. So we're gonna do this. And I'm gonna say if global.aquarium spawn garbage. Then we can settle this stuff. So I don't want to know that. And this is just going to be a chance-based thing. And randi range from 0 to 8 or whatever, or 4 is equal to 0. Then I don't even want to do that. I'm just going to say it spot index. Do that. Okay. And then don't do that 8 times. All right, let's try this again, guys. So hopefully this should fill it up with random garbage. So if I reset, go to main menu and load back in, there's 1 garbage over there. It might just be that the chance is too low to spawn. Okay, I see. So I might set the chance maybe a little higher. I'm not sure yet. I don't want there to be like a billion garbage that appears though. It seems like it works pretty well. But it seems like it's only spawning in like a couple spots too, which is weird. There it goes. One spawned over there. Yeah, so now it's just like, it starts with a little bit of trash in here, which is nice. Yeah. I think this seems pretty good. It'll be random every time, so it's kind of like you're in a new area. Okay. Why is the randomize button affected by lighting? Go fix that. Odd, I set this current material, but maybe not. I'm gonna select everything in here. Do that. Boom, boom. Let's try this again. Am I working on? This is Lured In. It's a idle fishing game where you run an aquarium and make a bunch of money. You can travel to different zones to catch fish and then bring them back and put them inside of a tank to make money from your customers. That's what it's all about. I'm just getting it set up right now so that whenever like you first load into the game for the first time, instead of the shop just being 100% empty with nothing in it, it'll like spawn with some garbage in it initially. So that's what these you know, trash bags and stuff are. But yeah. Also, something that I accidentally did. I realized that this should only happen if this. that. Transition looks so smooth. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's just a little shader I made. It was pretty easy to do. Yeah, I like how it just gives a little transition between things. So yeah, this should all work. I need to make sure though, if I delete all these decorations, I don't want it to regenerate again. So it seems like when I deleted a decoration, it doesn't remove the entry. I think it resets that index back to an empty one. So if I go in here, let's go to the decoration spot and figure out how this works. So in here, if I call like set decoration, so yeah, it'll set that index of the decoration to nothing, which is good. That's what I want. Where does that actually happen though? Set selected. Thought it ran and set decoration here. Entry ID. Oh, I do it in ready. So I say, otherwise that set index to entry. Yep. So we're all good there. Cool. So yeah, it'll only reset or spawn in those decorations on the very first time that you load into the game. So like I just did a reset. If I click play, boom, we've got all the decorations in here. Yeah. Works pretty well. Fortunately, all my tanks went away. One thing I also want to do in here, that one ascension ability, it should reset the settings back to default too, I think. So when we ascend, unless I have that ability. So I'm gonna go into here, and it's on the ascend function. I'm gonna set it manually in here. So right here, it's checking if we have tank decorations. I'm gonna say somewhere in here I set like a default tank settings, right? And I am calling get on everything, so I should be able to just set it back to an empty thing. So that should work. And then I also want to say, oops, I meant global tank settings. And fix that. That tank ID is now equal back to an empty dictionary. So what that should do now is whenever I send, let's wait until I have enough money here. But it should now reset that background on that tank back to normal. So if I buy that tank again, yeah, you can see the background is also reset. So that's good. That's what I want. It's dirty. Then now if I buy that ascension in here like that, and I do some stuff in here and then ascend again, it should retain everything in there, I believe. So let's try it out. And if I buy the tank again, boom. Yeah, so it's got all the same stuff and we're good. And every time it'll do that, reset all the decorations, unless actually I don't think it reset them because I have that ascension. So let's just buy a decoration to make sure. Okay. And I have the ascension, so if I now ascend, I should see that thing stay. Ooh. So that's clearly not working for some reason. Which is really weird. I actually don't know what's going on there. trying to think. Oh, no, it is fine. I keep resetting it by accident on purpose. Okay, I'll try this again. Before I hit ascend, I'm gonna add in a decoration. Yeah. But this is why I test these things. I gotta make sure that it's actually real and not just a bug or something. It exited out of the focus of the game. Okay. I just gotta sit here and wait until I have 503. All right, so I'm there. So now if I go ahead and add a decoration like this guy, and I ascend, I should see those stay. No. Ooh. I didn't reset my ascension upgrades. Okay, that's a little weird. We're gonna reset my game. And we have to run this up and make sure that that's not real. Okay, so I'm gonna stop resetting all this stuff right there. Do that. Don't do any of this stuff. Literally all I want to do right now is just add money. And we're gonna go delete my save. Let's go in here, game data. We will delete. Now let's go back in. Okay, so we've got nothing. Game has been completely reset. If I go ahead and adding research, whoops, whoopsies. All right, so if I go ahead and unlock Ascension now, boom. So if I send right now, everything should be fine. And the decorations should reset. So I'm gonna send, boom, they're gone. But now, if I modify these decorations, and if I unlock Moving Truck 1, lets you keep your shop decorations on Ascension, right? So I should be able to place down some decorations. And when I send again, they should stay the same. Boom. Yes, okay, they did. Just making sure. I think it was because whenever I hit R over here, it would reset the list of decorations because I had this line right here. So every time it was deleting everything and it looked like a bug. But it's not real. Okay. Pretty cool. I will have it activate shop again. Hey, Hypnotic, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Well, I gotta give you a manual shout out because for some reason my overlay is broken. Very cool. Yeah, what's going on? What were you up to today on your stream? Let's see. There we go. Yeah, I gotta fix that. It just the shout out thing just randomly decided to break one day, so that's cool. More in-game products, some modeling, texturing, bug fixing. Yeah, the usual list of things. Nice, cool stuff. Yeah, I'm excited for your game. It looks pretty fun. I always really like shop simulators, stuff like that. So I think it'll be really cool. That's weird that the colors got reset here. Just currently like going through Lurd-In and identifying a couple little weird bugs with like sending, because it resets your shop, just making sure everything is working there just fine. Occasionally I see my character like reset their cosmetics. So that was a little weird. I gotta double check on that, but hopefully that is not real. A little weird. Yeah, we've been just working on this today. Oh, this died, huh? Very interesting. But this is why I test and restart. The tank settings, algae time. I have to say .get. Or no, set it to that and say this .get. Like that. Hopefully that doesn't happen anymore. I'm gonna have a new demo go up the end of March. That has more content. Nice, yeah, that'll be cool. I'm excited to try it out. Okay, let's restart the game, or reset our save again. Let's try this again. Okay. So if we buy our tanks, yep, everything is fine now. We can place down our decorations and whatnot. All right, cool. I think that fixes that bug. I still see like weird character customization stuff. Like that just got reset for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Because like these are not the default settings. So I don't know how it's saving my settings if I'm deleting my save file. It's a little weird. I gotta figure that out. A little weird. But yeah, demos. Hopefully I can get a demo going soon for Lured In. I do have the like public playtesting stuff set up, so when you go to the store page, it shows that button now, so you can join the playtest. I think that'll definitely be very helpful. I've got to figure out if like, am I supposed to put like a link to a Google form or something? Because there's no like review system with the playtesting stuff, so I've got to figure that out. Yeah, how many people do we have signed up for this now? Let's see. We have got 89 people, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll include a link to review it. That's kind of what I did initially for my demo, because the demo for Starground came out before the new demo stuff that Steam's done. Now with demos, you can actually have like a separate store page for the demo technically. Like, let's just think of a game recently I've thought of, Wasteland Bites or whatever. So like the normal Steam page is just here, but then you can click on the learn more thing and it brings you, this is the demo Steam page with the reviews. So that seems nice, but yeah, there's no like system for that with playtesting. So I've got to figure that out. Yeah, I guess I'll just do a link. So yeah. I've now got a beta branch for my demo that people can only join if they have the password. Ah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Do they derank you for linking out of Steam? Just on the page itself. They have made some changes recently to that. You used to be able to put like, they had like a little panel here where you could put an image and a link in there. And sometimes you see games have like the little Discord thing at the top. It was like in here. Thank you for the follow. But you can no longer link stuff in the store page like this. It was understandable because a lot of games would, yeah, you can't link things anymore. So I need to update the Starground store page. So I don't even think you can't even do it. So it doesn't matter anymore. In the past, I don't think they ever counted or factored in links like that. So, but yeah. Instead of a Discord section for people to leave feedback and bug reports, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I do have a link to the Discord in the main menu or the pause menu here. So I might create like a little pop-up for when you first load up the game in the playtest. And it'll just be like, hey, thank you for trying out the game. If you want to leave feedback, join the Discord, you know, blah, blah. So I think that's going to be the play. Yeah, I'm trying to think of why the character, they don't seem to like get their stuff reset. I don't want them to be reset on Ascension. But I didn't change my cosmetics, so he shouldn't have a red shirt. Like if I delete my game data once again and load back into the game, I think the default outfit is like white sleeves, a green shirt, or something like that. So I don't know why he would have like red. Yeah, see, so this is the default outfit. And then I click on it and it spontaneously turns red. I don't know why. Something is a little bit weird about that. Can you put in analytics for game hours played? You don't really need to, because Steam does that by default. It tracks how long people have had the app open for. For example, if I go into Lured In here, I can show you guys that stat. Let's go into here. So right here, it shows median time played. So you can see how long people have played, right? Average time played, median time, how many people have been measured, and then it gives you like even a little table of like the percentages of each amount of time played. So yeah, very nice that Steam does that. It makes it very easy to keep track of demo play time. Be a decent metric if you could see different missions. So there is a whole system that Steam has for that, and it's called like Steamworks Stats API or whatever. You can record whatever kind of stat you want, which is pretty useful. I might get some of that set up for Lured In. I'm not sure yet. But there's all these different data types. The type, it can be an int float or average rate, which is very useful. Who can set the stat, you know, you can do like server only stats and stuff like that. So yeah, it's got a whole system for it. Very cool. Come sweet, by the way. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Offline mode. See, this is another cool thing, is it even keeps track of offline playtime and stuff too. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I do really love all the stuff Steam offers. Some people complain that Steam takes such a high percentage relative to other platforms, because they take 30%. But they offer so many little tools and things like this that it honestly really makes up for it. I mean, all of these things are completely free once you pay the initial $100 fee. And it's not even like using these it doesn't like increase the cut they take or anything. It's just you can access these things as much as you want. It's just a flat $100 fee. But they've got workshop, voice, timeline, screenshots. All of these things are all just things you get for free. That's a lot. Steam Audio, I don't even know what this is. It's a toolkit for spatial audio, so you can do, that's pretty cool. I don't even think you can do this in Godot yet. HTML surface. HTML-based pages directly in a game or application. That's pretty cool. The Steam family stuff. Cloud. What is Cloud? I saw this, Cloud Play. I think this is a thing that you can connect with GeForce Now. Yeah. So it lets you play Steam games on the cloud. So then microtransaction stuff. Rich presence. There's a billion things. Saying HTML pages could have your Discord linked direct in game. I guess so. I've never messed with this. I don't really know exactly how it works, but yeah, so it's, you can just do all these things. So yeah, you could open up like websites in game with it. It's just like it's like basically having like a little browser. I think that's what they use for the Steam client, because like when you navigate to the store page, you're loading the website, right? And I think that's why they offer that to developers, because they already have to make it for Steam itself. So It's pretty interesting though. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess the Steam client probably uses the Steam API. I mean, duh, that makes sense. Yeah, create a browser so you can make a browser link to Discord to join your Discord. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that could, well, you wouldn't even have to do, but yeah, you're saying just so they can just click the join button in game. I guess that could work, yeah. So load the review system, make a third-party review website in-game. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Yeah, I guess the only downside of it, though, is it does mean, like, offline players might have problems. Because stuff won't properly load. But it's an interesting concept, for sure. Okay, so I gotta figure out why the player customization seems to just be getting reset, right? Something's not right. Because I'm setting the customization in here. I think what's happening is when I open the customization menu, it's not properly finding these colors in here. That's what's going on here. So it resets it because... Okay, so this should be a pretty easy fix. I just have to change the color that this grabs. Same with shoes. I probably won't make that brown. Probably make it the same as the hair color. Pants color, we're going to change to be like jeans. So blue. A little like dinosaur image. Yeah, I don't know. They might have something like that for when it's not online. I have no idea. And then this color apparently is not in the list of shirt colors. I don't know what color this is. It's like a green color. Which one is this in my list? It's this one. So I'm going to add that to the list of colors that can be selected. So I'm just going to go into customization menu and add that in here. Into shirt colors. And I'll probably kind of organize these colors eventually, just reorder them so they make more sense as you scroll through these. Because right now it's pretty random. But I'll make it so it's like, you know, starts at white and goes through the grays into black or whatever. Eventually. Okay, so now when I open up the game, it should be fine and normal. I have to delete my save first though. Let's do that. Game data, go away. Let's try it out. Alright, so we're in game. This is our default outfit. If I click on the character... Okay, apparently the shirt still is not finding the whatever color that is. I guess it's not the same color, is it? Let's go look at that again. Shirt color. No, that's a completely different color. I don't know where that color comes from, but it's not on my palette, so I'm not going to add it to the game. What other color could it be? It's not that one. Not that one. None of these. So it must have been a weird color that I selected before I actually created a color palette. Which is a little funny. Okay. So now, if I open him, boom, everything stays. Yeah, that's good. Because what was happening before is like if the color doesn't exist in the customization menu, it doesn't know like what index to pick for what color it's on. So it just defaults to the first one, which is red. And that's why it kept doing that. But now it'll actually properly find it in here. So this is the default character. Cool. And it did generate some decorations. It only did one, apparently. I guess it's theoretically possible for the place to spawn with no decorations. But hopefully that doesn't happen. And that's flashing because we're in the tutorial. Cool. Might make that minigame maybe a little bit easier. We'll see. My first customer. Oops. My bad. What's going on? Sometimes it's a little weird with the placement on this. It's like if they can't instantly pathfind, then they just poof. But they should be able to pathfind here, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that. I've got to figure out what's going on there. It should just go there, so I should be able to like place them right there. Yeah, it's a little weird. Anyways, yeah, I think we're good to go here. So what's that fix over here? Yes, I marked that off. Let's go write that down. Let's put that down here. And so the aquarium will get filled with garbage when you start a new save. Okay. There's so many things that I've got written down in here. Fishnet animation, we'll do that someday. Chef required quantity starts smaller. Yeah, these are all very minor things, so... Store icon... That's something I would like to do there. Fishing hotspots. Yeah, just lots and lots of tiny little things that we're going to do someday. Anyways. Yeah, one of the things I'd like to do eventually is a... like little tutorial kind of thing with grandpa or whatever. So eventually. So many fish I added. There's a lot of stuff that I've added since the last update. You never really think about it, but like if I load up the previous version of the game, this is just on the regular one. Close that. But yeah, if I launch this now, it's crazy how much things have changed, really. You know, there's no character, you can't customize. You can throw people around. This one doesn't have such weird navigation stuff. I don't know why the other one, it's weird on the new version. Even like this looks a lot different. There's just so many little things that I've done now. There's not nearly as much like research and stuff too. Yeah, because this is the old player that we had before. Yeah, definitely the new inverse kinematics is way better on that for sure. It used to like look a little weird because the bottom arm would like overlap a bunch. The body also looked a little weird. Oh yeah, this doesn't reverse directions and stuff. We had the two different panels and merged these two together. Yeah, there's a lot of things. It's going to be a pretty big update, but it'll be good. Yeah, I just want to get things nice and stable and ready to go for the public playtesting stuff. And I think we're really close to that. There's not a whole lot more that we need to do, so I'm excited to get started on all that. Oh, it actually shows in here the playtest now. That's interesting. But yeah, anyways, I think we're probably going to end stream there. We've been going for just about 4 hours. So yeah. But thank you everybody for coming in. We'll be live again tomorrow at 3:30 MDT. And yeah, we'll be working more on Lure it in. Let's see who we want to raid to. Yo, Adagon's playing Vintage Story. Pretty fire. Oh, he's in like a server. Okay. Let's see who's in our group. There's so many new people in the group now, which is, it's always insane. A lot of these people are not doing game dev. Dredge. We can maybe raid Whitechapel. It's been quite a while. Let's go raid them. All right. Let's open up the raid screen. All right. But yeah, feel free to buy Starground, wish list lured in, and sign up for the playtest. Yeah. Let's go raid Whitechapel. Starting the raid. Yeah, be on the lookout. I know I've said this a billion times, but I think we are really close to getting this version up on the playtester branch. So, you know, yeah, pay attention to that if you guys are playtesters. All right. I'll see all you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. See you guys. Bye-bye.